For many schools here in southern Minnesota, it was a terrifying day for students, teachers, and parents when news went out about a threat of an active shooter. Several schools were impacted, including Rochester, Austin, and Albert Lea. Well, now an investigation is underway to determine who made those calls. Joining us now live is ABC 6 News reporter Maisie Olson from Lord High School, where one of these calls came in yesterday. Maisie, you were there when this scary situation unfolded. What are law enforcement saying today?
Laura, what I can tell you about what happened yesterday is that while it was a hoax, it left many people in the community terrified and very shaken. Now, today I spoke with local law enforcement as well as the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, who are all collaborating on this investigation with the possibility of the FBI getting involved as well. Now, the BCA says they have reason to believe that all of the calls made across the state came from the same person or the same group.
This is something that's coordinated and was specific and scripted.
Minnesota schools are the most recent to fall victim to fake school shooter calls. And now the BCA is trying to figure out if these calls are connected to others happening across the country.
Whether or not that's a group that wishes to cause harm just in our state, really just wants to do something sick to cause alarm in our communities, or it could be a coordinated something from other governments or other things. We don't know at this point.
While a hoax, law enforcement treated the situation as a reality.
It's such a large use of those resources, and it's beyond aggravating and frustrating knowing that it was ultimately just a hoax.
Police say it also has a ripple effect on everyone involved.
You consider what the students and what the teachers were going through when they get notice to lock down because they're told there's a reported threat in the building. And as responding officers, it's scary.
Making fake shooter threats is a serious offense.
And anybody that chooses to engage in this, it's not a joke, it's not a hoax, it's not something that should be done for any reason, and that this is really one of the more serious things you could do, unfortunately, because of what we've seen in schools across the United States.
So seriously that this crime could come with felony charges. In fact, if it is connected across state lines, it becomes a federal offense. Now the next step is to figure out who did it.
A lot of technical analysis of the information available to us, and then we'll be working backwards through that to try to determine the origin of these calls.
Real or fake, police say they are dedicated to keeping students safe.
When parents send their kids to school here in Rochester, they're our kids. They're our kids too. We think of them as just the same way, and we will do absolutely everything within our power to make sure that they go home safe at the end of the day.
Now, an eerie fact about this case is that while all of the calls had the same voice on the other end of the line and presented a threat of an active shooter, the details in each call were specific to each school district. Now, in Austin High School yesterday, the caller said that 8 students had been injured by someone carrying a semi-automatic weapon, specifying the building, giving out the building address, and even giving out a classroom number. Now, while it was a live person on the other end of the line, they were not responsive to the dispatcher's questions. Live in Rochester, Maisie Olson, ABC 6 News.
Maisie, thank you. Now, as of right now, there are no suspects. Any information should be reported to local law enforcement, or you can download the BCA's See It, Say It, Send It app to report any suspicious activity. Well, down in northwestern Iowa, police in Chickasaw County are dealing with their own fake active shooter calls. Earlier today, police in New Hampton arrested a 15-year-old boy for calling in a fake report about a